Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for staying with us. If you have just joined us, well, welcome to the show. You're a bit late, but you still are in good time to catch up on some information. It's Splash 105.5 FM. Right now it's about 8:05 on the clock. Today is a Monday, 26th day of April 2021. Just a few days to the end of the month. We're counting now 4 days, actually, minus today. And then it will be bye-bye forever to April 2021. I hope you are having a good start to your morning. And it's looking good for you. I hope you've been able to put the plans together for what the week might look like. For some of us, we just take it one step at a time. You know, we do not necessarily look for the entire plan. Just put one step there and hope that by the time you're ready to put the next, there's already something for you to stand on. Anyway, however it's going, I hope that you are disposed to having a great Monday morning, not just the Monday morning, but the entire week. And I'm really hoping that you have a blast this week. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. We hope that you enjoy a good day full of great memories. My name is Charity Jerome. Beyond the Surface is the segment that we're having now, and we try to go a little bit beyond the headlines on this segment to wrap up the morning splash. And today, I said we're going to be looking at the news surrounding the abduction of the Greenfield students and some developments that have happened since then, plus, of course, reactions of certain statesmen and notable Nigerians to that event. And usually, you know, when we have events like this, it's an opportunity for people to evaluate our situation or state as a nation, where we are, where we're going, how things might be looking. Yeah, so we're going to be discussing all of that. But as a reminder for those who might have forgotten how we got here, this happened 5 days ago when it was reported that a yet to be disclosed number of students were abducted at the Greenfield University, which is located along the Kaduna-Abuja highway in the Chukwu local government area of Kaduna State. It was reported that the students were abducted from the private university, which, by the way, is the first private institution in Kaduna State. As a matter of fact, they were just about to start taking in entries for the third batch ever in the university. Their first session was 2018-2019. So those who were supposed to start or who perhaps wrote JAM and had that university as their choice would have been the third set of students since that university was established and given its license in 2019. Unfortunately, this event happened. It was confirmed by the Kaduna State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, and some eyewitnesses reported that the gunmen stormed the university on Tuesday and took the students away after rounds of sporadic shootings. And members of that community blamed the university for not putting enough security in place despite its location on the dangerous Kaduna-Abuja highway. This, they said, made it very easy for gunmen to access the institution and cut away the many students. Now, with more information resurfacing, we're hearing that around 22, 23, it's still not really clear, but that's the figure. Between, some are reporting 17, some are saying 22, 23 as the number of those kidnapped. Now, while Nigerians were still reeling with the shock that this could happen in a private-owned university, because it seemed like before now the target had been government-owned institutions because of how not very secure these schools are and the dilapidated nature of such schools, which is makes it very easy for bandits or whoever, terrorists, to just stroll into the schools and, abduct students. This is the first time that we're having this kind of abduction in a privately owned higher institution in the Northwest. While we were still reeling and praying that government does something to ensure the swift release of the students, 2 days later, it was reported that 3 of the kidnapped students were found dead. Their bodies were found close to the university. Apparently, they had been shot by the bandits. The remains of the 3 students were discovered in the Kwanam Bature village, a location which is said to be close to the university. And we know now that one of them has been buried, 2 evacuated in a mortuary, placed in a mortuary. Information by the Kaduna State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs said that. Now, as you can imagine, Nigerians have become outraged, and they have shown that much reaction to these killings. The governor of the state himself condemned the killing, describing it as sheer wickedness, inhuman, and an outright desecration of human lives by vile entities. He said the bandits represent the worst of humankind and must be fought at all costs for the violent wickedness that they represent. He went on to say, evil will not triumph over God-given humanity, while also appealing to citizens to come together against the forces of darkness challenging the national security and the very existence of the Nigerian state. Let me also remind you that the Kaduna State governor has insisted that his government will not negotiate or pay bandits to secure the release of any kidnapped persons. He says doing so just gives them unnecessary leverage and power and encourages them to do the same. But the parents are, as you can imagine, distraught about this. As a matter of fact, there's a news report on the Nation newspaper that has the parents saying that they were in communication with the bandits. Yes, they were trying to renegotiate the 800 million naira, which the bandits are demanding for all of the kidnapped students from the university. But they were shocked to have heard that 3 of the students had been killed, and they could not understand how those bandits could be as cruel as they turned out to be. I'm trying to see if I can read a part of what one parent said. He said, quote, "They called us directly and individually, but they demanded for a collective ransom of 800 million naira. So on Thursday, we, the parents, met on the school premises and we called them trying to negotiate the ransom, but they insisted on the 800 million. Yes, we pleaded with them that the amount they were asking for was too much and beyond our power, but we never imagined or expected they were going to be so cruel and resort to killing our children." This is in response to the reported killing and death of 3 of those students who were kidnapped. And on the unfortunate part of it, I mean, the whole event is unfortunate in itself, but one of the 3 students had just celebrated her birthday on the 15th of April and had posted a picture. Of course, you know how excited you get when it's your birthday. Posted pictures on social media. These people were full of life. Little did she know that her life was going to be cut short in the manner that it was. And it is heartbreaking. It is such a heartbreaking story to talk about. When I saw the headline of 3 of the students having been killed, I shouted first when I saw it, like, how did we get here? I think it is very sad and unfortunate. And we continue to hope and pray that the remaining students are rescued. But of course, then you're hit with the reality or the knowledge that these are not the only students who have been abducted and are still in abduction. The students of the College of Mechanization in Kaduna State themselves, I think up to 30 or 27 of them still in captivity. Nobody knows anything concerning the states that they're in. Of course, do we have to go back to talk about the Chibok girls or Aliyah Sharibu? This seems to be or have become our reality, and it is painful. It calls to question the state of security across schools in Nigeria. Now, this is a conversation I believe we really need to be talking about more and more every day concerning the frequency with which we're seeing this happen and the obvious reality that we seem to not have a hang of it or a solution to it. Serap is urging the federal government to probe $30 million Safe Schools fund that was supposed to have been given to us and what happened to that. I'll give you details of that when I come back from this commercial break. But the focus of our conversation this morning is a comment that was made as a reaction to these incidents by Wole Soyinka, the Nobel laureate, who says we are at war. So then I guess the question will be, do you agree? And if we are, what should we be doing? Don't go away.
Na gode ranka ya daɗe. Allah ya saka da alkhairi.
Babu damuwa abokina. Wannan ai ba komai bane.
Baba, me yasa kake raba wa al'umma kyauta a lokacin Ramadan?
Mahaifina ya taba faɗa min kuma ni ma zan shaida maka. Kyauta ginshiƙin rayuwa ce. Kai kyautar wani abu kullum komai kankantar sa. Don haka ka zama mai kyautatawa wasu kamar yadda kai ma ake alfahari a gare ka.
Shi yasa ka sayi sabon paketin Indomie na farin cikin fara azumin watan Ramadan?
Tare da sabon paketin Indomie din zan iya raba wa al'ummar da ke kusa da ni a wannan lokaci na Ramadan.
Shin zan iya raba tawa taliyar ta Indomie da makotanmu masu bukata?
Tabbas.
Zaka iya.
Kasance mai muraggara basar kyautatawa cikin watan azumin Ramadan da taliyar Indomie. Taliyar Indomie abinci mai ɗanɗano wanda ya dace da ku.
It is time for celebration. 30 years bustling with goodness. No challenge can ever stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate. Open Guinness, bustling with so much greatness. Open Guinness, enjoy a world of good. 30 years of nourishing goodness. Happy Ramadan, Ramadan Mubarak.
Assalamu alaikum gbogbo mùmínì òdodo, a tún ti gbede o. Wá sí ìta gbangba lọ́dọọdún tí ìkànnì Splash FM àti Lágẹ̀lú FM tún ti dé o. Tọdún tó lọ lẹ́gbọ́, tá a jẹ́ àmọ̀ pàápẹ̀rọ. Ṣùgbọ́n tọdún yìí, ìlànà tí ń bẹ ńlẹ̀ ni kò sí bòmú, kò sí wọlé sínú gbọ̀ngàn MOF 21 tó ń bẹ lórí Ring Road Ìbàdàn. Lẹ́yìn tí wá sí ìta gbangba yìí máa wáyé lọ́jọ́ 27 oṣù kẹrin ọdún 2021 bẹ̀rẹ̀ látago 10 òwúrọ̀. Dẹ́ndẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ máa bọ́lẹ̀ látẹnu oníwàásí àgbáyé ni Sheikh Muhyiddin Ajani bá lò níbi tí àwọn ọ̀tọ̀kùlú èèkàn láwùjọ wà nínú àwọn ẹni bí ẹni èèyàn bí èèyàn distinguished guest of honour gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ onímọ̀-ẹ̀rọ Ṣèyí Mákindé special guest of honour engineer Rauf Ọláníyan alága ọjọ́ náà ni olóyè Báyọ̀ Oyèrò nígbà tí orí adéǹkàlẹ̀ jẹ́ Olúbàdàn ti ilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn ọba Sàlíù Àkànmú Adétúnjì spiritual father of the day ìmáàmù àgbà ilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn Sheikh Abdulganiu Abubakar agbọ́tọmọ kékeré kò tún tẹ́ síbẹ̀ o. Lára àwọn ẹ̀kàn tẹ́tù bá gbàdé ní bàbá ọjọ́ náà Alhaji Waike Abbas màmá ń kalẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ náà ni Chief Mrs. Oníkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ Àkàndé double minister àtàwọn ẹni àyẹ́sí pàtàkì bíi Senator Fatai Buhari Senator Kọ́lá Balógun Senator Sọjí Àkànbí Senator Mansura Somano Àgbáoyè Kọ́lá Karim tó fi mọ́ aṣíwájú àdínì ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ Alhaji Mutula Ọládẹjọ Onímọ̀ọ́lù àtàmbásádọ̀ Rọ́mọkí Àyìndé Kẹrọmlí bàbá wa àgbà olùdásílẹ̀ ìkànnì Splash FM àti Lágẹ̀lú FM Àgbáoyè Adébáyọ̀ Àkàndé MFR náà máa gba gbogbo èèyàn lálejò. Ẹ wò ẹ máa fọ́lù ẹ̀.
Ẹ súnmọ́ bí ẹ wá gbọ́.
múmìnà lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin nípa ògùn amárají pépé. Omega H3 nínú Ramadana tó o bá ti ṣínú tán. Omega H3 ni ó lò. Òun lẹ ti gbọ́ yẹn ohun ẹ̀yin mùsùlùmí. Tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ṣínú tán nínú àwẹ̀ Ramadan yìí, Omega H3 ni kẹ́ ẹ máa lò. Á dá gbogbo okun tẹ́ ẹ ti pàdánù padà sí lára lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Omega H3 ó ń fúnni lókun, ó ń ṣagbára dọ̀tun, ó ń mára jí pépé. Àwọn èròjà tó ń ṣara lóore ló ń ṣalátìlẹ́yìn fún. Lo Omega H3 lẹ́ẹ̀kan lójúmọ́ tó o bá ti ṣínú tán. Èmi Alhaji Wasiu Káyọ̀dé Asidik Babanwaka ló ń sọ fún yín pé nínú àwẹ̀ Ramadan yìí ẹ má jẹ́ kí Omega H3 wọn nínú ilé yín o. Omega H3 alátìlẹ́yìn fún ìlera tó péye.
Life is a mystery which can only be unraveled by the Word of God. And that's why you need to join Pastor Prince Will Afolabi of God's Power Evangelical Mission every Wednesday at 7:45 p.m. on Splash FM 105.5 as we unravel the mystery of life for great impact and success. Join us then. God bless you.
If you don't know the transfer news, you might tell your friends your team has the top striker.
What are you talking about?
If you tell your friends your team has the top striker, they might loudly disagree. If they loudly disagree, the whole viewing center might get involved. If the whole viewing center gets involved, you might lose the argument. If you lose the argument, you might kick the floor in frustration. Before things get out of hand, settle it with Google Search. Get the latest football news, live scores, transfers, probabilities, and so much more on your Google app.
Devon Kings Madrino. Devon Kings Madrino.
Do you know you can bake a cake for as little as 1,000 naira? You don't believe? With new Devon King's margarine. Enjoy yummy, buttery taste and softer, fluffier texture on all your cakes and pastries with new Devon King's margarine.
Devon King's Madrino.
Charles!
Yes, mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of hypo bleach for me.
Why 2?
Because I'm using 1 to soak the whites and using 1 to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them. But they are there. And that is why I trust only hypo bleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of hypo bleach.
As the best man, I'd like to give a toast. But first, I have a few things to say. The money they are spraying the couple is reducing. It seems some people have rubbed glue under their shoes to pack it.
Clearly, he's been watching comedy nights or maybe My Siblings and I on Africa Magic Urban, DSTV channel 153. Now you too can get inspired by our local entertainment. Get a HD decoder, dish, plus 1 month DSTV compact subscription for only 18,600 naira. Because great stories start on DSTV.
Now, where's that big malt? Today was just one of those days. You know, woke up by 5, made breakfast, went to work, did my job, then my Oga's work, then Oga's work, came home, made dinner, and now nothing can stop me from enjoying my rich, smooth, refreshing Dubic malt.
Enjoy the silky smooth taste of Dubic malt. Dubic malt, crown the moment.
Well, thank you so much for staying with us. You're listening to Splash 105.5 FM, 8:23. My name is Charity Jerome. Beyond the Surface today, we're taking a look at issues surrounding the kidnap of the Greenfield students and, of course, the eventual death of 3 of them, and some news regarding that this morning, especially the reactions and views of some notable Nigerians. I was just telling you before the break how the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to direct the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice and all appropriate anti-corruption agencies to investigate allegations that $30 million safe Safe School Fund is missing, mismanaged, or diverted, and to bring to justice anyone suspected to have been involved, as well as recover any missing money. Serap urged the president and the anti-corruption agencies to investigate why the Safe Schools initiative established to bolster security at schools in response to the abduction of Chibok schoolgirls has failed to stop frequent abductions of students and to ensure the safety and security of Nigerian children in schools across the country. This request they are making following the killing of 3 abducted Greenfield University students and the plan launched by the federal government last week to raise additional funds for safe schools. In the letter that was dated 24th of April, and signed by the Deputy Director of SERAP, the organization said that rather than pushing to raise more funds for Safe School initiative, the government should prioritize and ensure a thorough, transparent, and effective investigation into the spending of the $30 million initially budgeted for the protection of schools, prevention of attacks, and the continued education of students. So this is just on the one hand, in reaction. Another reaction from some Nigerians, stakeholders, if you like, notable Nigerians, include those given by Atiku, former presidential aspirant under the People's Democratic Party. Sheikh Hussain has reacted. The governors of the northern states of Nigeria have also reacted. The former vice president, in reacting, said that he was saddened by the event. And according to him, he condemned the killing and called for constitutional roles to be granted to states to manage security and the killing of abducted students. The former vice president wrote on his Twitter page, "Heartbreaking to learn of the killing of the 3 abducted students. How long shall we continue to lose precious souls? May their families and friends be comforted." Sheikh Hussaini, on his part, said as follows: "It's tragic to learn that 3 of the students of Kaduna Greenfield University were murdered by the bandits who abducted them. May their souls rest in peace. Let's pray for the lives of the 2 nurses abducted at the Kajuru Hospital to be released." So he said there, but I am trying to get the reaction from the governors. Simon Lalong, who is the governor of Plateau State and the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, gave a statement concerning this. And they were speaking in response to the killing of 3 students who were abducted. Simon Lalong said the incident was condemnable and barbaric. He said that there was no justification for the kidnap and murder of hapless students. He pronounced the bandits' actions as a case of sheer wickedness and called for swift action to be taken against them. He said that the northern governors have continued to engage the federal government and security agencies in order to find a lasting solution to the menace of kidnapping and other criminalities. Now, that's the thing. There's all this engagement going on. There's all this search for solutions. But why hasn't anything sufficed? For how much longer are we going to be in this situation before we get that eureka moment, the solution that puts all of this to bed? Is it that the government isn't thinking right? Everybody is incapable of finding the solution. For something that has persisted this long, my personal thought is it must be hard. Apparently, it is hard for them to come up with a solution. So if it is hard, what should they do? Ask for help? Because that is what Wole Soyinka is suggesting. He says that we're at war, we're continuing to pretend that we're not, and that we are headed for, serious trouble. And that report is contained in some of the newspapers from this morning, quoting him as saying that Nigeria is pretending not to know that it is at war. So in a statement that he released on Saturday, which was titled "The Endless Martyrdom of Youth," Mr. Soyinka said the country is on the brink unless an urgent action is taken. He made the statement following the killing of the 3 kidnapped students of the Greenfield University by bandits in Kaduna, and also the rising insecurity and violence across swaths of the nation. Mr. Shoyinka, who said the nation is on the brink of chaos due to the unending bloodshed across the country, urged the nation's leadership to seek assistance in the face of its apparent helplessness to curb the trend. Part of what he put out says, our greatest fear with this latest feat of cowardly savagery is that the nation must brace itself for a Beslan scenario, yet strive to avoid Nigeria become Africa's Chechnya. Those who have been proven weak and incapable must learn to swallow their vain pride and seek help. Again, this is no new counseling. But of course, the dog that will get lost no longer heeds the hunter's whistle. I envy no one the task ahead, terminating the toxic harvest of past derelictions. But the part that I am interested is this. He says, this nation is at war, yet we continue to pretend that these are mere birth pangs of a glorious entity. They are death throes. Vultures and undertakers hover patiently, but with full confidence. And of course, that is the words of Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, stating that we are at war. And some people would easily agree. So I'm asking you this morning, do you agree with him? Are we at war? Should the government approach this situation as if it were a war situation? And if that's the case, what would you expect them to do next? And also, do you agree with Wole Soyinka that we should seek help? If so, from who? The UK? The US? Chad? China? Where do you think our help will come from to tackle this situation? 0809-155-1055, 0805-699-8678, 070-6949-3000. We have just all of 10 minutes to do this. That means we're going to operate on first come, first serve basis. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, this Chigo's here.
Hi, Chigozie. I was going to read your message in this segment, but it's nice that you're calling us. Go ahead.
No problem. Yeah, I think Soyinka is very, very correct that we are at war. Now, I've seen since the time of Jonathan that there's a war going on in Nigeria, and the war is between the government and the people. The government is defining the people economically, and now one has also added insecurity to it. The adoption in Kaduna State is very heartbreaking. That now these days they are going to universities, not kids again, not children again. They are now adopting adults. Unfortunately, the parents are the one negotiating. Not even the government, now the parents.
Yes.
And negotiating. So that shows you how failed Nigeria has become, not only Kaduna State, but Nigeria as a whole. That's what Nigeria has to do. We don't need to seek help anywhere.
Okay.
The help we need is within. The government has to start taking insecurity seriously, not treating some people different from others. Imagine what's happening in Southeast now, and what's happening in the North. The government has to start seeing Nigeria as a whole.
You think the government is not doing that already? They're saying that they've been engaging, trying to look for solutions. They obviously are bothered, or do you not agree?
You don't have to negotiate. You don't have to wait until the end before you start doing. But I'm saying every time, why can't I have CCTV? Go even to the market in Nigeria. Market, men, about 3-4 shops. Have CCTV, monitoring the shops in the market. I mean, people who control less than 10 million naira in their business. Nigeria cannot have CCTV in the schools. If there's a strong room, we have somebody with behind the screen watching every movement. Before this kidnappers will come close, there will be an alarm. But everybody is careless, there's looting. Not care. Then when they come and kidnap our children, take us out, they go and start negotiating and say what we do with them.
All right.
Buhari is not doing much. Not only Buhari, all the governors, even the government in the Southeast.
Okay.
They're not doing anything at all. They're just doing this thing to show you security. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chigozie. We have the capacity to handle these issues, is what you seem to believe. We're just not committed to doing what needs to be done to tackle the situation. But I bet government officials and the people in government would disagree. Nobody wants their states to be in turmoil. When you think about it, everybody wants a situation where there's peace so that things can move on. So if a problem is reoccurring, I don't think it is because of someone's being okay with that problem.
Tata, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tata. This is Dr. Mark.
All right, doctor, nice to have you. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I do not believe that we need any help from outside. Sincerely speaking, as long as we still have this nepotism, this ethnic bias issue on everything.
Is nepotism the cause of insecurity?
Yes. Let me tell you, have we made use of the military men we have? They are not being used. Look at the way they are channeling the strength to attack IPOB. If they could use 10% of that strength they started using on IPOB, all these people in the forest, all of them would have run away by now. The presidency or those in power knew what they are doing with these people in the forest. I am telling you the truth.
So do you agree with Wole Soyinka that we are at war then? Do you agree?
He's asking. He's like another statement. The only thing he could do is to suggest. He made suggestions. But I'm telling you, if you bring them in here, they will still tell them to work with the police people. They will still tell them to work under the supervision of the IG or the chief of staff or whoever. And these people are shenanigans. They know what to do, but they get instruction from somewhere not to do it. So long as this nepotism is still there, I'm telling you the truth, we cannot fight this thing. Even if you bring all the military men from Germany, America, UK to Nigeria, it will not help.
What would help?
To understand that Nigeria, what we all want as a nation, this idea of police seeing the truth and not going for the truth. I give you an example in Oyo State. Some people went inside the forest to pick somebody who was acclaimed to be there perpetrating some evil. These people who went to the forest to pick them, handed them over to the police. Police arrested the people who went to pick those men.
Okay.
How do you marry that?
I mean,
a whole lot of that happened in the north.
All right.
A whole lot of that happened in the north. And to solve the problem, for us to get out of this mess, we need to synergize as a nation and stop this nepotism.
Oh, okay.
That's the way to go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mark. You seem to agree with Chigozie. We do not need any help. We have the capacity. Hello. Good morning.
My name is Abike from Bodija.
All right, Abike. Nice to have you.
We are trying to appeal to the federal government to please release the ransom of 800 million naira to the bandits, so these children will be free. Because if it was to be the children, Mr. Rufai wouldn't be talking like this, that he wouldn't release money for them. Some of them have been killed already. Let them, for goodness sake, they have the money, let them go and get the bandits. Let's release the children for
What would you say to the argument that paying such ransoms only encourages these bandits to continue to kidnap? And
at this time, I just don't want to care. Federal government has they have the money, and they are the cause of all this banditry, of all this kidnapping all around the country. Because of it now, so they should go and look for them and pay them.
All
Release the children for loud.
All right, Abike, thank you. Thank you very much. Quite an emotional appeal there. And it makes sense, really. When your family member is kidnapped, you're not thinking about, okay. All right, so we're quickly running out of time. Let me squeeze in some more calls. Please lower the volume on your radio.
Good morning. How are you?
Okay, let's try that again.
Yeah, Charity, good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear now, sir. Welcome.
Okay, now let me give you my own expects about stuff like this.
Can we have your name?
My name is Tokumbo Chile. Good morning.
Great. Nice to have you.
Now, I don't want to get angry because it's too early for Monday, but let me give you some certain perspectives I've read about this insecurity problem.
Okay.
Now, they are declaring they should pay a certain amount. Right now, they're telling them to pay a certain amount for security reasons, right? University and all that, right? Now, tell me, how do you prevent unexpected circumstances with funds? A country where the security is zero. How does it work? I don't understand.
Yep.
It's a country where your doctors are going on strike, insensitivity, and that is when your president decides to go for medical checkup in UK.
Okay.
I don't understand. Let me give you my example of banditry, like people who do kidnapping and all that. It's just an example like Oyo State now. If a robbery happens and there are probably few robbers snatch a bullion pan, unless police is not effective, where would you want to hide in this Ibadan and they won't find you out?
Okay. So you think the will is lacking? It is the will to...
So how does funds work for a country where the insecurity problem is zero? Unexpected occurrences can happen anytime. How do you tackle this with funds when you don't have basic security menus and avenues to tackle the problem?
That's where the funds come in now. You use the funds to put in the infrastructure that enables you to see these things before they happen. For instance, CCTV.
For example, give me an example now. Even if the federal government... Exactly. So are you telling me the private university where there's CCTV? Haven't you seen situations where there are CCTVs and robbery still occurred and certain things still really occurred? Now the problem is whether there's this CCTV or not. After this occurs, what is the necessary solution? Because with CCTV, anything can happen anywhere. The problem is, after all these things happen, that you catch them on camera, what is the next step to take? Does it have anything to do with funds or being an effective governorship?
Okay, Tokumbo.
Am I making sense here?
I don't quite understand the angle you're taking, but unfortunately I'm all out of time and I can't even continue that debate. I would have loved to hear you expand on that take so I can really understand where you're coming from, but we have to wrap it up. I'm being told that my time is completely gone. I hope that we can get to continue this conversation another time though. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We continue to pray that these students and all those who continue to be in captivity regain their freedom and the government does the needful, because at the end of the day, the buck stops with the government. My name is Charity Jerome. Have an amazing Monday morning.
Splash FM 105.5.
It's game night at the Bensons and everyone's having fun. Then